Hare Krishna, both Rishikesh Prabhu Standard Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Oh, yes, we are live. Now we need to start the reading session. Haribol. Hare Krishna, both Rishikesh Prabhu Standard Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So today Pranjal Prabhu will perform special kirtan. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Nityam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Standard Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. Oh, let's tag everyone. I said 10 minutes, but I was a little bit late. Okay, Haribol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yudhapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Saganaragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalalita Sri Visakanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्याय देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृद्यन्तस्तो यभद्राणि विदुनुति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Hari Bol.
Oh, Hare Krishna, West Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Shubham Prabhu,
धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु, प्लीज एक्सेप्ट माय obeisance और worship Prabhupada.
Hare
Sorry
Krishna
again.
Prabhu, Dhanyavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yeah, been disappeared again because I had exam yesterday, but finally that got over. So I'm
Oh, you
back.
destroyed it. Did you score high
Hare
score?
Krishna Prabhu, Dhanyavad
Prabhu.
Pranam to all of you.
Hare
Jai
Krishna, Shubham Prabhu,
Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
So I don't know the grade yet, but let's see.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
You want to
By
read
the
some
way,
Bhagavatam, Prabhu?
oh yes, this is Bhagavatam, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
You can be the first reader.
Very good. Yeah, I'll read first. Before I start, actually, I want to also announce something very nice.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm sending it in the Shloka learning group. Pranjal Prabhu, you can find this particularly interesting. Yeah, just send it there and you all can see what new updates have been going on.
And Prabhu, first I have a question to Pranjal Prabhu. Prabhu, which movie link you have sent? In that movie, the fish incarnation said that Brahma sleeping, and I think Prabhu that was after sixth Manvantar. So how can Brahma sleep before Kalpa and Prabhu?
Not
I
sure, Prabhu.
think Pranjal Prabhu is typing. Give him a couple of seconds. He'll give you the answer.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Pranjal Prabhu does not know also. Okay, can I start reading?
Yes, Prabhu.
All right. You saw the screenshot in the group?
Not yet, Prabhu.
Go see it.
Open the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Quick jump. What is this 31? Oh, it's Bhagavad Gita verse. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Yeah. Demo right now. Much to
Hmm.
design. But yeah, that's also begun.
Very nice, Prabhu.
This will be ISKM's own personal Veda base.
Hmm. Yeah, really
Yeah.
interesting.
Very bold. Okay, so can I begin, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. एकः प्रपद्यते ध्वान्तं हित्वेदं स्वकलेवरं कुशलेतरपाथेयो भूतद्रोहेण यद्भृतम् एकः alone prapadyate, he enters dhvantam, darkness, hitva, after quitting, idam, this, swa, his, kalevaram, body, kushala itara, sin, patheyah, his passage, money, bhuta, to other living entities, drohena, by injury, yad, which body, Bhritam, was maintained. Translation. He goes alone to the darkest regions of hell after quitting the present body, and the money which he acquired by envying other living entities is the passage money with which he leaves this world. Purport. So when a man earns money by unfair means and maintains his family and himself with that money, the money is enjoyed by many members of the family, but he alone goes to hell. A person who enjoys life by earning money or by envying others' life or by envying another's life and who enjoys with family and friends will have to enjoy alone the resultant sinful reactions accrued from such violent and illicit life. For example, if a man secures some money by killing someone and with that money maintains his family, those who enjoy the black money earned by him are also partially responsible and are also sent to hell. But he who is the leader is especially punished. The result of material enjoyment is that one takes with him the sinful reaction only and not the money. The money he earned is left in this world and he takes only the reaction. In this world also, if a person acquires some money by murdering someone, the family is not hanged, although its members are sinfully contaminated. But the man who commits the murder and maintains his family is himself hanged as a murderer. The direct offender is more responsible for sinful activities than the indirect enjoyer. The great learned scholar Chanakya Pandita says, therefore, that whatever one has in his possession had better be spent for the cause of Sat, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because one cannot take his possessions with him. They remain here and they will be lost. Either we leave the money or the money leaves us, but we will be separated. The best use of money, as long as it is within our possession, is to spend it to acquire Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Prabhu.
This
We
is
went
very
directly to the heavy topics, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yesterday was evening time. We read these. The before verses, they were crazy.
Oh yeah, Prabhu. These
Oh,
verses are actually very like, these are the kind of verses that really wake a person up, like
yes, Prabhu. This is
they really give you an idea, what can happen. This is the Bhagavatam's way
they
of,
are placed in the midst of burning wood. Everything is set on fire. He's made
yeah,
to eat their own flesh.
yeah.
Everything is some crazy animals come and eat you.
This portion of Bhagavatam is Krishna's chastisement.
Yes, Prabhu. But after this, after all the little animals come and eat you, the gnats, scorpions. Then suddenly some big elephant comes and pulls the one that is left. This is great. Then he's hurled from hilltops, Prabhu.
Yeah, this is very detailed we described in much more detail in the fifth canto also, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
How he's hurled from over
Yes,
a mountaintop.
yesterday Pranjal Prabhu says when we started to walk on the road, when the verse came, that oh now they're walking on then Pranjal Prabhu said, oh now we're going together to hell. Then everybody, yeah, this was really graphic.
Yeah. But some of these graphic ones are also very nice somehow. You just because it's coming from Bhagavatam, so they sound very nice.
Yes,
To
Prabhu.
us at least, To us it sounds very beautiful.
Yes, Prabhu. Even these names are scary of these places. There's Raurava and
Oh, and I
Tamas.
mean, if you really were a Hindi speaker, it would sound 100 times more scary because we can kind of grasp the tone in which these are usually spoken. For example, the word Tamisra, for us, it sounds a lot more scary because, of course, we speak Hindi.
Yes, Prabhu.
And Andha Tamisra, like the word Andha itself brings a lot of fear if you speak Hindi. I think Pranjal Prabhu and Shubham Prabhu and Praveen Prabhu, they can relate. Rishikesh Prabhu also, they can relate how much fear immediately one receives when they hear such words. Andha, like very dark.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, and like blind.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. And this Lord Kapila Dev was telling this to his mother. If I told this, imagine you tell this to your mother, the mother would be frightened. But his mother was so advanced, he took the best
Opportunity of
portion.
teaching this to her, yeah.
In fact, it is nothing in fact, sorry, bro. Hare Krishna,
Oh,
Dhanvat
Hare
Pranam, Jai Sri
Krishna,
Prabhupada.
Praveen Prabhu,
And
Dhanavad.
Pranam
Jai
Prabhu,
Shri
Jai Shri
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
In
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
fact,
Dhanvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhu.
all yeah, Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhu. All these descriptions in this Bhagavatam is nothing when it is compared with the Garuda Purana. Okay, Garuda Purana is particularly about all the hellish planets. Okay, description of the hellish planets is given in detail in Garuda Purana. Okay, along with
Yeah.
the other activities to please the forefathers as well. Okay, but
Yeah.
so that's why the Garuda Purana is much scarier than what is given in Bhagavatam. Okay, so
Have you read the fifth canto, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry?
Has Praveen Prabhu read the 5th canto of Bhagavatam?
Yes, yeah. Even in fifth canto also, it is given. Yeah, it is
Comparatively.
scary. I know,
Really? Oh,
I know.
wow.
But when it is relatively compared with Garuda Purana, it is nothing.
Oh, wow.
That's what I meant to say.
Wow. Then we can really not imagine all this, going there. What kind of suffering they're going
Yeah.
through.
Hmm.
Wow.
So, Praveen Prabhu, have you read the Garud Purana?
Yes, I did. Okay, but not the full version. But there is a, in fact, small version. Okay, available in the market because I could not find the entire version in the market. Okay, so I whatever I got was read by me. That's the reason why I have some knowledge about Garud Purana as well. Okay. Oh God, you can't imagine. If you want, I can maybe share any online version as well. I think it is available.
Yeah, you
But
can use the
but
one
So,
on Wisdom Lib.
Gi-
I will
Gita
search. I will
Press
search. I
has,
think yes. Gita Press.
Gita
Gita
Press has
Press
printed a small version.
exactly, but not what it is completely in either in Sanskrit or Hindi. Okay, I cannot find any English version. Okay. But let me search online if I can find any Garuda Purana version. Maybe in what is it called? There is something called. One second, let me search.
Yes, so maybe we can find an archives.
Yes. Yeah, Wisdom. I think Wisdom Library might have got any Garuda Purana. See, let me see. Hmm. Yeah, I have found one version in Hindi, Prabhu. I can share that with you. Uh, it's in archive.org.
So, Prabhu, please continue reading. Why have you stopped?
Yes, please.
Who was
Please,
reading?
please.
Always Prabhu. Yeah, always Prabhu.
Completely forgot about me, huh? The
Yes,
audacity. The
Hari Bol.
audacity of forgetting about me.
His mind is in Garuda Purana now.
All right, Prabhu. दैवेन साधितं तस्य शमलं निरये पुमान् भुङ्क्ते कुटुम्बपोषस्य हृतवित्तः एवातुरः. Daivena, by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, asaditam, obtained, tasya, his, shamalam, sinful reaction, niraye, in a hellish condition, puman, the man, bhunkte, undergoes, kutumba poshasya, of maintaining a family, ritavittaha, one whose wealth is lost, Eva, like, aturaha, suffering. Translation. Thus, by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the maintainer of kinsmen is put into a hellish condition to suffer for his sinful activities, like a man who has lost his wealth. Purport. So the example set herein is that the sinful person suffers just like a man who has lost his wealth. The human form of body is achieved by the conditioned soul after many, many births and is a very valuable asset. Instead of utilizing this life to get liberation, if one uses it simply for the purpose of maintaining his so-called family and therefore performs foolish and unauthorized action, He is compared to a man who has lost his wealth and who, upon losing it, laments. When wealth is lost, there is no use lamenting. But as long as there is wealth, one has to utilize it properly and thereby gain eternal profit. It may be argued that when a man leaves his money earned by sinful activities, then he also leaves his sinful activities here with his money. But it is especially mentioned herein that by superior arrangement, daive nasaditam, although the man leaves behind him his sinfully earned money, he carries the effect of it. When a man steals some money, if he is caught and agrees to return it, he is not freed from the criminal punishment. By the law of the state, even though he returns the money, he has to undergo the punishment. Similarly, the money which is earned by a criminal process may be left by the man when dying, but by superior arrangement, he carries with him the effect, and therefore he has to suffer hellish life. केवलेन ह्यधर्मेण कुटुम्ब भरणोत्सुकः याति जीवोन्धतामिस्रं चरमं तमसः padam. Kevalena, simply. He, certainly. Adharmena, by irreligious activities. Kutumba, family. Bharana, to maintain. Utsukaha, eager. Yati, goes. Jivaha, a person. Andhatamisram, to Andhatamisra. Charamam, ultimate. Tamasaha, of darkness. Padam, region. Translation. Therefore, a person who is very eager to maintain his family and kinsmen simply by black methods certainly goes to the darkest region of hell, which is known as Andhatamisra. 3 words in this verse are very significant. Kevalena means only by black methods. Adharmena means unrighteous or irreligious. And Kutumba Bharana means family maintenance. Maintaining one's family is certainly the duty of a householder, but one should be eager to earn his livelihood by the prescribed method as stated in the Shastra, in the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described that the Lord has divided the social system into 4 classifications of castes or varnas according to quality and work. Apart from Bhagavad Gita, in every society, a man is known according to his quality and work. For example, when a man is constructing wooden furniture, he is called a carpenter, and a man who works with an anvil and iron is called a blacksmith. Similarly, a man who is engaged in the medical or engineering fields has a particular duty and designation. All these human activities have been divided by the Supreme Lord into 4 varnas, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In Bhagavad Gita and in other Vedic literatures, the specific duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra are mentioned. One should work honestly according to his qualification. He should not earn his livelihood unfairly by means for which he is not qualified. If a Brahmana who works as a priest so that he may enlighten his followers with the spiritual way of life is not qualified as a priest, then he is cheating the public. One should not earn by such unfair means. The same is applicable to a Kshatriya or to a Vaishya. It is especially mentioned that the means of livelihood of those who are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness must be very fair and uncomplicated. Here it is mentioned that he who earns his livelihood by unfair means, Kevalena, is sent to the darkest hellish region. Otherwise, if one maintains his family by prescribed methods and honest means, there is no objection to one's being a family man. Anybody wants to continue?
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice come back to the reading session.
Yes, see, whenever I am not busy, I have to come because this is my duty, right? To read Prabhupada's books in the Association of Devotees is very important.
Yes, Prabhu.
You know, it's just that these exams, of course, they take unnecessary amount of my time, which is why I also decided that as soon as I graduate from a bachelor's degree, I'm not going for a master's. Like it's, you know, too much knowledge, you know, it's too much material knowledge is just useless.
Yes, Prabhu.
Better I live simply, you know, like I want to have more time for the devotees and for all the service. Like that is the main goal of life is to serve ISKM, serve Krishna, right? Krishna says in chapter 12, I think in the Bhagavad Gita also that even if you cannot follow the regular principles of bhakti, then at least simply by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So we have to aspire, all of us, we have to aspire to serve Krishna, work
Yes.
for him as his employers via the medium of ISKM or the expansions of Srila Prabhupada's associates, namely all of you and the seniors. So I please humble request all of you to, I humbly request all of you to actually take up some service or the other in ISKM, whether online or offline, because we really need all the help that we can get to spread the movement across the whole world.
Yes, this is right, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, who will be the next reader? You have 30 minutes or 25 minutes.
Hare Prabhu.
I can't because I have a call now. 5 minutes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Don't worry, I'll take it
Yeah,
over.
sure.
Thank you,
Sure,
Prabhu.
sure. Thank you.
अधस्तान्नारलोकस्य यावतिर्यातनोदयः क्रमशः समान्युक्रम्य पुनरत्र व्रजेच् चोचिः अधस्तत् from below naralokasya human birth yavatihi as many yatana punishments adyaha and so on kramashah in a regular order samanyukrama having gone through punaha again atra here on this earth avrajet he may return suchihi pure. Translation: having gone through all the miserable hellish conditions and having passed in a regular order through the lowest form of animal life prior to human birth, and having thus been purged of his sins, one is reborn again as a human being on this earth. Finally, purport: just as a prisoner who has undergone troublesome prison life is set free again, similarly, the person who has always been engaged in impious and mischievous activities is put into hellish conditions, and when he has undergone different hellish lives, namely those of lower animals like cats, dogs, and hogs, by the gradual process of evolution, he again comes back as a human being. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that even though a person engaged in the practice of yoga system may not finish perfectly and may fall down for some reason or other, his next life as a human being is guaranteed. It is stated that such a person who has fallen from the path of yoga practice is given. Oh, where to go? Is given a chance in his next life to take birth in very rich family or in a very pious family. It is interpreted that a rich family refers to a big mercantile family because generally people who engage in trades and mercantile business are very rich. One who engaged in the process of self realization of connecting with the supreme absolute truth but fell short is allowed to take birth in such a rich family, or he is allowed to take up birth in the family of pious Brahmanas. Either way, he is guaranteed to appear in human society in his next life. It can be concluded that if someone is not willing to enter into hellish life, as in Tamisra or Andha Tamisra, then he must take to the process of Krishna consciousness, which is a first class yoga system because even if one is unable to attain complete Krishna consciousness in this life, he is guaranteed at least to take his next birth in a human family. He cannot be sent into a hellish condition. Krishna consciousness is the purest life and it protects all human beings from gliding down to hell to take birth in a family of hogs or in a family of dogs or hogs. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the third canto, 30th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Description by Lord Kapila of Adverse Fruitive Activities. Chapter 31. Chapter 31, Lord Kapila's instructions on the movements of the living entities. Text 1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Karmana Deva Netrana Jantur Deho Papataye Striya Pravishta Udaram Pumso Retah Kanashrayah. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Karmana, by the result of work, Deva Netra, under the supervision of the Lord, Jantuhu, that living entity, Deha, a body, Upap, Upapattaye, for obtaining, Striyaha, of a woman, Pravishtaha, enters, Udaram, the womb, Pumsaha, of a man, Retaha, of semina, Kana, a particle, Kanaha, particle, Ashrayaha, dwelling in. Translation: the personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, and according to the result of his work, the living entity, soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of a male semina to assume a particular type of body. Purport, as stated in the last chapter, after suffering different kinds of hellish conditions, a man comes again to the human form of body. The same topic is continued in this chapter. In order to give a particular type of human form to a person who has already suffered hellish life, the soul is transferred to the semina of a man who is just suitable to become his father. During sexual intercourse, the soul is transferred through the semina of the father into the mother's womb in order to produce a particular type of body. This process is applicable to all embodying living entities, but it is especially mentioned for the man who was transferred to the Anda Tamisra hell after suffering there, when he who has had many types of hellish bodies, like those of dogs and hogs, is to come again to the human form. He is given the chance to take his birth in the same type of body from which he degraded himself to hell. Everything is done by the supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Material nature supplies the body, but it does not so under the direction of the Supreme Soul, sorry, Super Soul. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that a living entity is wandering in this material world on a chariot made by material nature. The Supreme Lord, as Super Soul, is always present with the individual soul. He directs material nature to supply a particular type of body to the individual soul according to the result of his work, and the material nature supplies it. Here, one word, Retaha Kanashrayaha, is very significant because it indicates that it is not the semina of the man that creates life within the womb of a woman. Rather, the living entity, the soul, takes shelter in a particle of semina and then is pushed into the womb of a woman. Then the body develops. There is no possibility of creating a living entity without the presence of the soul simply by sexual intercourse. The materialistic theory that there is no soul and that a child is born simply by material combination of a man's and woman's semina is not very feasible. It is unacceptable. Text 2. Kalalam tva ekaratrena pancharatrena bud budbudam dash dashahena to karkanduhu Pesha andam vatata param. Kalalam, mixing of semina and ovum. 2. Then Ekaratrena on the first night. Pancharatrena by the fifth night. Budbudam, a bubble. Dasha in 10 days. 2. Then Kar Karkanduhu like a plum. Peshi, a lump of flesh. Andam, an egg. Andam, an egg. Va or Tataha, thence Param afterwards. Translation: on the first night, the semina and ovum mix, and on the fifth night, the mixture ferments into a bubble. On the 10th night, it develops into a form like a plum, and after that, gradually it turns into a lump of flesh or an egg, as the case may be. Purport: the body of the soul develops in four different ways according to its different sources. One kind of body, that of the trees and plants, sprouts from the earth. The second kind of body grows from perspiration, as with flies, germs, and bugs. Really? The third kind of body develops from eggs, and the fourth develops from an embryo. Oh. This verse indicates that after emulsification of the ovum and semina, the body gradually develops either into a lump of flesh or into an egg, as the case may be. In the case of birds, it develops into an egg, and in the case of animals and human beings, it develops into a lump of flesh. Text 3. Masena tu shiro dvabhayam Bhav Angri Adyanga Vigraha Nakha Lomastit Charmani Linga Chidrodbhavastribihi Masena within a month. 2. Then Shiraha ahead. Dvabhyam 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 in 2 months. Bahu arms. Angry feet. Adi and so on, Anga, limbs, Vigraha, form, Nakha, nails, Loma, body, hair, Loma, body hair, Asti, bones, Charmani, and skin, Linga, organ of generation, Chidra, apertures, Udbhavaha, appearance, Tribihi, within 3 months. Translation: in the course of a month, a head is formed, and at the end of 2 months, hands, feet, and other limbs take shape. By the end of 3 months, the nails, fingers, toes, body hair, bones, and skin appear, as do the organ of generation and the other apertures in the body, namely the eyes, nostril, ears, mouth, and anus. Text 4. Chaturbhir धातवः सप्त पञ्चाभिषुत्रद् उद्भवः साध्भिर्जारायुनावेत्तः कुक्षौ ब्राह्म्यति दक्षिणे Chaturbihi within 4 months. Dhatavaha ingredients Sapta 7. Panchabihi within 5 months. Shutrat of hunger and thirst. Udbhavaha appearance. Sadbihi within 6 months. Jarayuna by the amninon. Vittaha enclosed. Kukshav in the abdomen. Brahmyati moves. Dakshine on the right side. Translation: within 4 months from the date of conception, the 7 essential ingredients of the body, namely chyle, blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow, and semina, come into existence. At the end of 5 months, hunger and thirst make themselves felt. And at the end of 6 months, the fetus enclosed by amnion begins to move on the right side of the abdomen. Purport: when the body of the child is completely formed at the end of 6 months, the child, if he is male, begins to move on the right side. And if female, she tries to move on the left side. Interesting point. Text 5. Matur Jagdana Panadyair Edhad Dhatur Asamate Shete Venmutrayor Garte Sa Jantur Sambhave Matuhu of the mother Jagda taken Annapana by the food and drink Adhyai and so on Adhat increasing Dhatuhu the ingredients of his body Asamate abominable Shete remains with Mutrayoho of stools and urine Garte in a hollow Sa Saha that Jan Jantuhu fetus Jantu of worms Sambhave the breeding place. Translation: deriving its nutrition from the food and drink taken by the mother, the fetus grows and remains in the abominable residence of stools and urine, which is a breeding place of all kinds of worms. But in the Markandeya Purana, it is said that in the intestine of the mother, the umbilical cord, which is known as Apyami, joins the mother to the abdomen of the child. It is said that in the intestine of the mother, the umbilical cord, which is known as the Apyani, Apyayani, joins the mother to the abdomen of the child, and through this passage, the child within the womb accepts the mother's assimilated foodstuff. Okay, from the intestine to the mother's abdomen. Sorry, from the intestine to the baby's abdomen. In this way, the child is fed by the mother's intestine within the womb and grows from day to day. The statement of the Markandeya Purana about the child's situation within the womb is exactly corroborated by modern medical science, and thus the authority of the Puranas cannot be disproved, as is sometimes attempted by the Mayavadi philosophers. Since the child depends completely on the assimilated foodstuff of the mother during pregnancy, there are restrictions on the food taken by the mother. Too much salt, chili, onion, and similar food is forbidden for the pregnant mother because the child's body is too delicate and new for him to tolerate such pungent food. Restrictions and precautions to be taken by the pregnant mother, as enunciated in the Smriti scriptures of Vedic literature, are very useful. We can understand from the Vedic literature how much care is taken to beget a nice child in society. The Garbandhana ceremony before sexual intercourse was compulsory for persons in the higher grades of society and is very scientific. Prabhu, I am not aware of this Garbandhana. I mean, is it prevalent now in society?
It still is, but only mostly among the Vaishnava community. Some householders usually decide to actually go through with the Garbhadhan Sanskar or the
Oh,
Garbhadhan
Garbhadana. Oh,
ceremony,
yeah. Okay.
to announce to their spiritual master, first of all, that now they wish to beget a child.
Oh,
And yeah,
cool. Thank you, Prabhu. To take care of the child is a primary duty of the parents because if such care is taken, society will be filled with good population to maintain the peace and prosperity of the society, country, and human race. Text 6. Krimi bihi shata sarvanga Saukumaryat Pratikshanam Murcham Apnotir Urukleshas Tatratyai Shudhitairmuhu Krimibihi by worms, Shata bitten, Sarvanga all over the body, Saukumaryat because of tenderness, Pratikshanam moment after moment, Murcham unconscious, Apnoti he obtains, Uruklesha whose suffering is great, Tatrayat Tatratyai being there in the abdomen, Shudhitai hungry, Muhu again and again. Translation: bitten again and again all over the body by the hungry worms in the abdomen itself, the child suffers terrible agony because of his tenderness. He thus becomes unconscious moment after moment because of the terrible conditions. Oh. Purport: the miserable condition of material existence is not only felt when you come out of the womb of the mother, but it is also present within the womb. Miserable life begins from the moment the living entity begins to contact his material body. Unfortunately, we forget this experience and do not take the miseries of birth very seriously. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it is specifically mentioned that one should be very alert to understand the specific difficulties of birth and death. Just as during the formation of this body, we have to pass through so many difficulties within the womb of the mother. Similarly, at the time of death, there are also many difficulties. As described in the previous chapter, one has to transmigrate from one body to another, and the transmigration into the bodies of dogs and horses is especially miserable. But despite such miserable conditions, due to the spell of Maya, we forget everything and become enamored by the present so called happiness, which is described as actually no more than a counteraction to distress. Text 7. कुटिति क्षणोष्णलवरुक्षां लादिभिरुल्बणैः मात्रभुक्तेरुपस्पृष्टः सर्वाङ्गोस्थितवेदनः कटु bitter, तीक्ष्ण pungent, ushna hot, lavana salty, ruksha dry, amla sour, 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 adibihi and so on. Ulbanai excessive, matra bhuktaihi by foods eaten by the mother, upaspritaha affected, sarvanga all over the body, utitaha arisen, vedanaha pain. Translation: owing to the mother's eating bitter, pungent foodstuffs or food which is too salty or too sour, the body of the child is incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. Whoa. Purport: all descriptions of the child's bodily situation in the womb of the mother are beyond our conception. It is very difficult to remain in such a position, but still the child has to remain because his consciousness is not very developed. The child can tolerate it, otherwise, he would die. That is the benediction of Maya, who endows the suffering body with the qualifications for tolerating such terrible tortures. Text 8. Ulbena samvrasta minnatriksha बहिरावृतः आस्ते कृत्वा शिरः कुशौ भुग् कुशौ शिरोधरः Ulbena by the amnion. Prabhu, could you find out what is amnion? Is it pronounced right? Oh, it's the innermost membrane that encloses the embryo of the mammal. Okay, membrane. Got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Samvrataha enclosed. Tasmin in that place. Antrehi by the intestines. Cha and Bahihi outside. Avrataha covered. Aste he lies. Kritva having put. Shiraha the head. Kukshav toward the belly. Bhugna bent. Prishtha back. Shiradharaha neck. Translation: placed within the amnion and covered outside by the intestines, the child remains lying on one side of the abdomen, his head turned toward his belly, and his back and neck arched like a bow. Purport: if a grown-up man, if a grown-up man were put into such a condition as a child within the abdomen, completely entangled in all respects, it would be impossible for him to live even for a few seconds. Unfortunately, we forget all these sufferings and try to be happy in this life, not caring for the liberation of the soul from the entanglement of birth and death. It is an unfortunate civilization in which these matters are not plainly discussed to make people understand the precarious condition of material existence. Text 9.
Okay, this is last one, Prabhu. Let's see. Yeah, it's short.
Okay. Akalpaha swanga अकल्पः स्वाङ्गचेष्टयां शकुन्त इव पाञ्जरे तत्र लब्धा स्मृतिर्दैवात् कर्म जन्म शतोद्भवम् स्मरणं दीर्घम् अनुच्चवासम् शर्म किं नाम विन्दते अल्कपः unable Swanga his limbs, Chestayam to move, Shakuntaha a bird, Eva like, Panjare in a cage, Tatra there, Labda Smritihi having gained his memory, Daivat by fortune, Karma activities, Janma Shatabhavam occurring during the last 100 births, Smaran remembering, Dirgham for a long time, Anochavasam saying, Sharma peace of mind, Kim what, Nama then, Vindate can he achieve. Translation: the child thus remains just like a bird in a cage, without freedom of movement. At that time, if the child is fortunate, he can remember all the troubles of his past 100 births. Oh, and he grieves wretchedly. What is the possibility of peace of mind in that condition? Oh, oh. Purport: after birth, the child may forget about the difficulties of his past lives. But when we are grown up, we can at least understand the grievous tortures undergone, undergone at birth and death by reading the authorized scriptures like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If we do not believe in the scriptures, that is a different question. But if we have faith in the authority of such description, then we must prepare for our freedom in the next life. that is possible in this human form of life. One who does not take heed of these indications of suffering in human existence is said to be undoubtedly committing suicide. It is said that this human form of life is the only means for crossing over the nescience of Maya or material existence. We have a very efficient boat in this human form of body, and there is a very expert captain, the spiritual master. Report. The scriptural injunctions are like favorable winds. If we do not cross the ocean of nescience of material existence in spite of all these facilities, then certainly we are all intentionally committing suicide.
Haribo, yes, Prabhu, it's good to enter these words. This was really nice purport. So we should not commit suicide.
And this is scarier than yesterday, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. This is, I don't know. I'm gonna faint. This is like three hells back to back. First you go to the real hell, then you go to the animal hell, then you go to this womb hell. Oh, Krishna. This,
Okay.
this is this is so crazy that it makes me laugh. Yeah, we need to do chanting and try to become more offenseless to avoid this craziness.
I have this. I don't know if it's a silly question, but now if I miss Brahma Muhurta in India, can I wake up during the Brahma Muhurt of Reunion Island time and still get the benefits of chanting during Brahma Muhurt? Because in the Telegram call we are all one, right?
I don't think it's Brahma Muhurta for you anymore then, Pro.
So will I get some kind of a transference of positivity or something?
Yeah, there is benefit because Gaurasakti Prabhu's association is so beneficial, but it's not Brahma Muhurta. Maybe it's so beneficial that it turns any time into Brahma Muhurta.
Prabhu, when is your Brahma Muhurt in Indian Standard Time, if you know?
Oh, Indian time, it's already like 8 p.m. No, a.m. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. for you. Okay. So if I'm in
Yes.
contact with you, I may still be getting some sort of a benediction or some sort of a.
No, not with me, Prabhu. With me, if you're in contact, you're having to go all
Humility,
this
humility.
nonsense. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
We just read all these things. What happens if one is in contact with me? So one should be in contact with Prabhupada. That would be best. Oh, there's 9 now, almost 10. Hare Krishna Vivek Prabhu, Tandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for joining, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please.
Oh, Bhavi Prabhu also. Tandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay, now we need to go to Six Astakam prayers because I need to do some things also. Where it is. चेतोदार्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दां बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिः तत्रापिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इह जानिनानुरागः
ऋणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेन कीर्तनया सदा हरि
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरं कविता जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनेश्वरि भवतात् भक्तरहेतुकी त्वयि
Inandatअनुja kinkaram patitam mishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja stitaduli sadrisam vichintaya. Sorry, Prabhu. Shubham Prabhu, you can read the next one.
Kalam nenam galadasudharya udram gadagadradyaya gira pulkai nichitam vapuh kadadavanam grane bhavisyate.
युगायतं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायतं शून्यायतं जगत्सर्व गोविन्दभिर्नेन मे
विश्वापादरतं
Padiratam vinastumam adarsnan marmahatam karautua yatha tathava vidhatulam pato mat prananathastu saeva na para.
Haribo, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Shiksha Sagam ki jai.
So Prabhu translate.
Yes, Prabhu. Once you start.
Glory to Sri Krishna. Kirtana which in the heart of all of that is accumulated for years and intention, which is the prayer of conditioned life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtana movement is the prime direction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the notion of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Haribo, we have 10 people joining. Very nice. We broke the 10. Thank you, Dheeraj Prabhu. Tandat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Oh my
Oh
Lord.
my Lord, your
Yes,
holy
Prabhu.
name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking one soul lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your constant devotion service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda
Oh,
Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice soak up and when will the taste of my body stand on that station?
Oh, in the feeling of suppression, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, roughly in his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Krishna Ashtakam ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai. Baujanma Karya Dishravana Kirtan, Tabudanapa Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
The second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu.
Third offense to disobey the orders of ordinance.
Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense is to give some mundane interpretation to the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense to commit
Seventh offense
sinful
to commit
activities of. Sorry, Prabhu, yes.
Continue, bro.
To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious activities offered in the Vedas as spiritual activities. Karma.
Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense is to
Tenth
not have
offense.
complete faith. Yes, Prabhu, continue.
No, please, Prabhu, go on.
Tenth offense is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vansha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya Krishna pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo
And the
Devotee
Gaudiya
Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
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 Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much for your association, Prabhus. Tomorrow we continue. Really nice to see 10 devotees join the reading session. Thank you,
Thank you,
Luves
Swami
Prabhu,
Prabhu, for
for
hosting the
leading.
evening.
No, Prabhu. Not thanking me because you're giving your association to me, so I'm benefiting of this. This is thanks to you all. But see you again all tomorrow on the Japa session and reading session. Haribol.